Hi guys, Dave here with you. Today what I wanted to do was talk about how I wanted to expand my cooking area and be able to do other types of cooking, including maybe some deep frying or some boiling. Might want to use a Dutch oven for simmering some chili or braising some pork. Also, wok cooking is a lot of fun. Maybe I just want to heat up a pot of beans or do a crab boil. But most of all, I wanted to be able to do some cast iron cooking, whether it's a pan like this with some lines in the bottom or just a regular cast iron skillet. I wanted to have a side burner in my cooking station. Yeah, we can use our Blackstone, and you've seen me do that before, but I also felt like it was kind of a waste of energy and propane to try to use the Blackstone for the purpose of using other utensils on it. It works to some extent, but a side burner really enhances your capabilities. So here's what I did. I went out on the internet and I found at Northern Tool a side burner that I'll show you. This burner is really cool. It's got 3 adjustable zones on a manifold that feed 3 different areas on the burner. So this center valve controls just the center ring. This valve controls the right half of the burners, and this valve controls the left half of the burner. This thing will get to 36,000 BTUs, which is plenty hot enough to do cast iron cooking, boil a pot of potatoes in an instant, do some wok cooking. Really, really versatile item. You can get it at, like I said, at Northern Tool. I believe that there's one on Amazon that might actually be a little better quality than this one. Let's talk about how I hooked it up. I wanted to just have one propane tank. I'm kind of limited with space here, so I didn't want to have a separate propane tank over here. I went and I got 2 things. I got a dual regulator and put it on my propane tank, and I ran one hose up to the Blackstone, but then I ran the other hose over to an extension hose to go to the burner. This extension hose, it came with the 3/8 male pipe thread here, and the dual regulator had a 3/8 female SAE. So I looked for a conversion that would go from male NTP over to female SAE, and there wasn't one that I could find, so I had to put a MPT union in between. Remember to use thread seal tape on any MPT fittings, and be sure to do the spray bottle soapy water test to look for bubbles, to check for leaks before you ever think about lighting anything up. And this is the point where I do the disclaimer and say, I'm showing you how I did it, guys. I'm not telling you to do it this way. I'm just giving you an idea how I did it. So then I also went and I added, you can't really see it, but I added a 5/16 brass barbed union with some hose clamps so that I could get the right length on this extension. And then this is just 3/8 SAE. So we got a burner, we got the right amount of hose. I zip tied them down to this part of the griddle, so I didn't risk any part of this hose getting near the hot flame from the Blackstone. Now, where do we put it? And how do we put it somewhere safely? You know, we got this great shelf right here. Yeah, it fits there quite well, and there's probably no problem with that whatsoever. However, I always worried about, hey, if something happened, this might fall off, so I was a little concerned. What I did was, I took the shelf out, and I said, look, why don't I just flip it over, and if I put the burner in there, it can't go anywhere. Okay, that's a good idea, but how's this thing supported? On these 2 receivers, it's got a really good weld. Those are welded real nice, so that'll take a lot of weight. But with this, the only weld is right here and here and here and here. And I was a little concerned that this would kind of drop down and maybe bend and be a little bit of a problem. So what I did was I took two self-tapping sheet metal screws and I screwed this top part to these rails so that when I put the burner on here, it would be supported by these rails. Okay, that works great, so let's put that in there. Simple as that. We just put the burner on there. It's not going anywhere. Okay, I can put it in the middle if I want. And let's see how it fits. Even with a big old pizza pan, it fits pretty good. If I wanted to bring it out just a little bit, I certainly can. Oh, but wait, now it's tipping down and it's all supported by these rails. So what can we do? What I did was I came up with a support for it. And I went and got some of these black iron flanges. Hope you can see that. A black iron flange, and I got an adapter pipe from 1/2 inch PVC to this black iron flange. And then I can just screw that in like that. I got one on each end. And now what I can do is I just put this under here. And now I'm supporting this to grade or to ground with something under it, and I'm not worried about that sagging. Plus, because I've got those threaded flanges, I can actually put a level on this and bring that right up to level, so that if I'm cooking a liquid in there, it'll be nice and level. One thing that I want to tell you is kind of counterintuitive. When I hooked this up, I was getting a yellow flame. And there's 3 screws underneath, one for each zone. And you would think that you would close them up to reduce the amount of oxygen and get rid of the yellow flame. That's not how this one works. Actually, you let them out and it reduces the amount of oxygen. So if you get one, just remember what Dave said. Oh, I got to turn them out to get that blue flame. That's the basic setup of what I've got. I've also got this little black table that gives me a little more space because I'm using up this space right here. When I put this under here, shove this in, put that under there, my cover fits on it just fine, just fine. So I just want to kind of go over how I added a burner assembly to the Blackstone setup, why I did it, and give you, maybe just hopefully give you an idea of something you might want to do. I hope it gives you some good ideas. It really worked for me, and it improved my ability to cook more things differently and more efficiently. I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions, or I hope you do. If you do, certainly please write them up in the comments, and I'll answer as many of them as I possibly can. So for now, that's it. I just want to say thanks again. The support has been phenomenal, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So stay tuned, and hey, we'll just see what's next with Dave.